Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to week 184 update. So yeah, I am totally in my robe for this video. We went to the Children's Museum today in Portland, Maine, and had a really great family day. It was a lot of fun. Came back home and I was cold and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get into my robe. Got into my robe and then I got settled in and I'm like, oh, I have to film a video. That's right, I wanted to film my video today. So I'm like, well, do I get up and get dressed? And I'm like, oh, why? It's me, right? How many times have you guys seen me in my robe? Usually for my results videos, I do usually get dressed up a little bit. For my what I eat in a day videos, I'll stay in my robe some days. But I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Let's just stay in a robe. Let's be comfy. Let's sit down. I moved my big chair over here so that the window light is facing me. And we're just gonna sit and be comfy and chat like friends, because that's what we are. Because I know that you guys don't come here to see what I wear. You come here to see what I'm gonna say, right? So yeah, week 184 update. We're gonna talk about the last couple of weeks because I did not get a video out to you last week. I am so sorry. Oh my gosh, this family has just been getting hit with sickness all around, like one thing after another. It's like insane. The last one was a stomach virus and it hit everyone in the house except me. Thank you, Lord. And hopefully I still don't get it. But man, it's a fast moving virus though. Everybody just got it and then got over it. And we're moving past that. And then the kids caught a cold and they gave that one to me, which I'm struggling with right now. But man, it's just one thing after another recently. So I just had like a lot on my plate. We just had a lot going on. And so I did not get a results video out to you guys last week. So I'm super sorry about that. But I'm getting one out to you this week. We're going to cover the last couple of weeks. We're going to talk about the scale. We're going to talk about food addiction, guys. And we're just going to get into it. Let's go. Alright guys, if you are new to my channel and you're clicking on this video for the very first time, welcome. I'm the incredible shrinking Steffi. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel, be a part of my journey, and allow me to be a part of yours. This channel is my journey to lose a total of 200 pounds from my highest weight of 374. I have battled with obesity and food addiction since I was a little girl, and that is what I talk about mostly on this channel, is the mental part of this journey. We take this journey together. We talk about the mental struggles. We talk about the food addiction. We talk about the emotional pain that comes with being obese and living that way for the majority of your life and really trying to figure this out. And we do that together. I share a lot of what I eat in a day videos. In the beginning of this journey, I lost my weight with dirty keto and intermittent fasting, and I transitioned more into a low carber, a clean low carber most days, sometimes a dirty low carber, and incorporating OMAD into my diet as well, which is 1 meal a day. So I do share a lot of what I eat in a day videos, sharing with you guys how I am losing my weight. I reached 180 pounds lost from my highest weight at the end of last year, which is just insane. And my goal is to lose a total of 200 pounds. Next year, I plan on getting skin removal surgery. I've talked a lot about the excess skin that I have, so that will be another chapter of this weight loss journey. But right now, we're spending 2024 trying to get as close to our goal as we possibly can, which is 174. And I share everything with you. So if that interests you, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Also, I have a support group on Facebook, The Shrinkables. Come join us over there. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. All of that is down below. All right, guys. So like I said, I didn't get a results video out to you last week. I don't even remember what I weighed in at the last results video, but we're going to talk about what the last couple of weeks looked like. And we're just going to get right into that right now. So I have mentioned a few times recently that I'm not really like hardcore, let's lose the rest of this weight, let's get to our goal weight right now, right this minute, because I'm more of like, okay, let's figure out how to live this lifestyle. Let's figure out what maintenance is going to look like, you know, kind of playing around with things, experimenting a little bit, you know, how far can I go? You know, I want to be prepared for when I do hit maintenance. I don't want to just lose all of this weight and then just be completely lost as to, you know, what do I do now? I want to learn learn how to do this for the rest of my life, because this isn't just some, however long journey and we get to that destination and then we're there and we stop. No, we're on to the next chapter. We're on to maintenance. And what is that going to look like for me? Everyone is so different when it comes to that. I'm still living with a food addiction. So I need to figure out how to live with it, how to control it, and what exactly I need to do. So I have been playing around a little bit, and I mentioned it in my last video, is that I felt like I have like this control, like I can play around with it. I can have some trigger foods once in a while if I don't overdo it, if I got my mind right, if I can really focus my mind on the right things, focus on my goals, and focus on my health, making myself a priority and really taking it seriously. And I can still live my life. When I have something planned for like a dinner or something, and I know I'm going to eat a little bit extra carbs, then maybe I'll do OMAD that day where I can afford a little more calories, and it's not going to set me back as long as I get right back on track the next day. And if I don't overdo it, if I do like a day or two maybe of eating some carbs, it won't trigger me. It won't. And so that's what I've been doing. I've just kind of been playing around with it, the majority of the time eating healthy, eating low carb, and just staying on track, doing OMAD, and just doing all the things. So that being said, like a week and a half ago, maybe ish, I don't even know what happened. I played around with the carbs a little bit too much. And I was like, okay, well, we're just going to get back on track the next day because that's what we do, right? The next day, I was like, okay, well, why don't I just have one more day? Just one more day. And I think that day I had weighed in at 198, I believe. Okay, I think I was still in Wonderland at that point. I may have been 200. I can't remember. But I was, there. And I was like, well, let me just have one more day. No, Steffi, no, not one more day. And so I did, and this was around Valentine's Day. And so we had already planned on going to an Italian restaurant. I had already planned on having, yummy foods, but I had done that the night before, I should say. I had a little bit too many snacks that night. And then we had our Valentine's Day. And the next day I said, well, just one more day. Just one more day. We'll just do one more day. We'll just enjoy some yummy foods and then we'll just get right back on track. No big deal, right? So I did, and, didn't totally overdo it, but ate my trigger foods and ate, carby foods that day, the way that I used to eat. And, oh, man, the majority of the time I can feel myself in control. Like I've been on this journey for 3.5 years now, and I've been so consistent that this is my lifestyle no matter what. I'm never going back to that old person. Yet sometimes if I go a little too far, I can feel those old feelings creep back in, and my food addiction will flare up. You've heard the term, give the devil an inch and he'll take a mile. That is so true. That is exactly what I did with my food addiction. I gave it an inch and it took a mile. And so when I took it just, one day too much, the next day I woke up, it wasn't even like I had a day where like, oh, maybe I'll eat carbs. No, I felt like this urge to eat carbs. I felt like these cravings, like it was just taking over me. And I haven't felt that in such a long time. And I remember, in the beginning of this journey, or like when I started to get comfortable and I started to kind of play around with trigger foods, but I wasn't healed enough up here where I could do that. And I would just fall into, that place of where my addiction just takes over. And I just felt like it was just this monster inside of me that just took over. I haven't felt that in a really long time. And I felt that. I felt that last week. And it was the weirdest thing, but it was also the most horrible thing because I have been so consistent on this journey. I have lost so much weight. I have been so successful, yet I can still feel my addiction creep in like that. And I can feel it take over. It's because I gave it an inch and it took a mile. I overdid it. I went a little overboard and it just took me all the way under. And so that day, I just felt it, like I felt it take control of me, and I just gave in. And so I'm like, well, this sucks, and so then I just I just gave in. And the same thing happened the next day. So I had 2 days of feeling like my addiction was taking over. Now, I knew mentally that it wasn't going to take complete control over me. You know, like I'm too far into this journey. I'm too serious about myself and my health and this weight loss journey and getting to my goals. I'm too serious about it for it to completely take control over me. But I allowed myself to let it take a couple of days away from me. I really did. I allowed it to. You know, that was my choice. It was. I could have said, you know, okay, well, no, we're saying no, you know, back off addiction. I'm done, you know, like we're going to get right back on track. As hard as it would have been, I could have done that. I could have, but I gave in. I did. And I think a big reason is because I truly love food. I truly love food. And I mean, I love the foods that don't love me back. I love the foods that give me so much comfort and discomfort at the same exact time. I love those foods that have taken me away from pain my whole life. I love the foods that taste so good, but leave me feeling so bad. I love them, and I have always loved them. From as far back as I can remember, I have this unhealthy relationship with these foods, and it creeps back into my life, and it's so frustrating because I love those foods just as much as I loved them before, just as much as I loved them as a little girl. I just love them. And I want to live a life where I can have them once in a while. And when I mean once in a while, I mean maybe once every few months, maybe once every 6 months. I'm not talking about once a week. I'm not talking about even once a month. I have a food addiction. I need to be aware of that. I need to be in control of that. And I know that I can because I have proven to myself that I can be successful on this journey. But when I give in just a little bit, that little bit turns into a whole lot. And that is what happened to me. And the next morning, my second day, I was just the same feelings, you know, it just kind of took over me. It's like, you're not ready. You're not ready. You just want to eat. You know, you just want to feel this a little bit longer. You want to mask that stress just a little bit longer. You don't want to feel any pain. You don't want to feel any sadness. You want to feel that little bit of joy when you think about the fact that you can have something to eat that you normally wouldn't, because you've given yourself permission that day to eat whatever you wanted, and you look forward to eating that food. It brings me like this sense of joy, temporary joy, of course, but that temporary satisfaction of like, oh, I feel like I've been a prisoner in my own body where I can't have those foods that I want, you know? Now I've allowed myself to break free. I've allowed myself to have a little bit of freedom where I can eat whatever I want. It is the exact opposite of that. When we're living like that, when we're living in our food addiction, that is a prisoner in our own bodies. We don't have any freedom. That's not freedom. Freedom is when you can make the choice to be healthy and still be in control. That is freedom. And that is something that I have learned. So I had 2 days, really 4, you know, kind of 3 1/4 actually. But you want to talk about addiction? Do you want to talk about what addiction truly looks like? Like I said, I weighed in at like 198. Let's just say 199 because I was either 198 or 200. Let's say I was 199. After those 2 days of like really allowing my food addiction to take control, and when I say letting it take control, I was eating carbs just to eat carbs. I was eating food just to eat food. I wasn't hungry. I just knew that it was going to taste good. And I knew that I don't normally eat those foods, so I wouldn't get another chance to eat those foods anytime soon. So I'm like, well, I might as well eat them now. This is the day that I'm allowing myself to eat, so I might as well eat that. I might as well eat that. I might as well eat that. I mean, man, I haven't done that in a long time. And it kind of scares me that it can still creep up. It can still creep into my life. So this is what addiction looks like. I weighed in at 199. And after those 2 days of addiction, craziness, I was 209.8. Like, what? I gained 10 pounds, 10 plus pounds. I was almost at 210. And the cool thing is, yes, there's a cool thing here, guys. The cool thing is that I looked at that number And of course I was like, okay, whoa, what did you do? That sucks. But I also had like this sense of reality where it's like, okay, my addiction is real. This is a real thing. This is a real issue. You know, it's not just Steffi being just this, you know, crazy hungry snacker, you know, like just wanting to like dive into all these yummy foods. No, I actually had, you know, physiological things going on inside of me that were drawing me to these foods, and it's just something that I've lived with my whole life. So it's like I stopped for a minute and I was like, okay, what did we learn here? Well, I learned that I need to be more aware. I need to be more in control of my addiction. I need to set specific goals for myself. I need to set limits for myself. And when I decide to have these trigger foods or have these certain days, those need to be the only days that I have. I can't allow myself to just go a little bit further because I go too far. So I have said this so many times before, guys, like, anytime that you stumble, anytime that you fall, anytime that you make mistakes, anytime that you fail, use that as an opportunity to learn more about yourself and how to make this work for yourself. That is what I have been doing over the last 3.5 years, and that is how I am being successful. So I woke up that morning and I'm like, you know what? That sucks, but we know what to do to get back on track. And so for a couple of days, I just did OMAD. I just restricted my calories, cut the carbs out, drank lots of water, and just got right back on track. And then we started carnivore on the 19th. And I knew carnivore was going to work, you know, because it always does for me, especially when I'm holding on to a lot of water weight. And so that is what we did. And I'm halfway through carnivore now. And this morning I weighed in at 200.4. So I have lost 9 pounds, over 9 pounds, in, oh gosh, I don't know, 4 days, 5 days. So it's like, if you just make the choice to get back on track, if you do what you know is right, if you stop the pity party and, you know, stop beating yourself up for things that sometimes you feel like you have no control over, you know? I think people look down on us, people who don't understand food addiction, they look at us and like, okay, all you gotta do is just not pick up that piece of pizza. I mean, really, how hard is that? All you have to do is not eat more than 2 chips. How hard is that? It is hard. If you don't understand addiction, then you don't understand, and really you should keep your mouth shut. I mean that with all respect there. But really, if you don't understand, keep your mouth shut, because it is a serious issue. And for those of us who deal with this issue, the struggle is real. But stop beating yourself up for it. Stop. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. As many times as maybe someone has told you in your life that it's your fault, don't listen to them. As many times as the enemy may place it in your head that you're a failure, you're a disappointment, that you're never going to succeed, that you're always going to fail. Anytime you have certain foods in front of you, you're always going to screw up because you have no control. Those are all lies. Stop believing those lies. Stop believing them. Start telling yourself the truth that you can do this and you are worthy. You are strong enough. And when you're not strong enough, you can call on Jesus to use his strength. I refuse to allow myself to get into that negative mindset anymore when it comes to my weight loss journey. Of course, I need to work on that in the other areas of my life for sure. But when it comes to my weight loss journey, no more, because that is why I have failed over and over again. You know, I'll find myself in that place where it's like, oh, I did it again, you know, because how many times have I done that? You know, I'll do really good, lose a bunch of weight, and then I'll mess up, gain it all back. But then that's where it matters. That's where it matters, is when you make a mistake and you gain some weight, what are you going to do next? That's what matters. Are you going to just say, oh, screw it, I don't care anymore, I'm just going to keep eating and just live my life the way I want to? Well, that's not how you want to live your life, first of all. But you're just going to gain all your weight back and then just be further away from your goal. Or you could say, okay, I messed up. Yeah, I made a mistake. I'm human though. Of course I'm going to make a mistake. You know, we're not perfect. I need to lower those expectations and expect that I'm going to be human. Expect that I'm going to make mistakes once in a while. I can get back on track and then just start moving forward and just start moving in the right direction. It's just so important to have that right mindset, especially after you've just made a mistake. And, you know, I could sit here and say, okay, I hate having to sit here and tell you guys that I had a 10-pound weight gain in 1 week, really in like 4 days. I mean, really? Like, if I really think about that, like, I'm sharing this with you. Hey guys, guess what? I gained 10 pounds in 4 days. Yeah. No, I'm not proud of that. I mean, that's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. But when you struggle with addiction, it is a disease. We need to understand that it's seriously a disease that we are fighting against. But we can overcome. We can overcome. We just have to push through and keep fighting in those moments where we feel like we have nothing left. And you know what we do in those moments? I read something recently. Let me get it because I did write it down because it really did speak to me. I read it in a devotion that I read recently, and it said, trust that when trials come your way and things don't unfold the way that you planned, your lack is not a liability. It's actually an opportunity to experience God's power. Your not enough is an invitation to receive His more than enough. I think a lot of times we just try to do everything ourselves. I know in my personal experience, that is why I have failed in the 40 plus years of my life that I've been trying to lose weight and get healthy and just become this person that I'm destined to be. I've been trying to do that in my own strength my whole life when I'm just not strong enough. I'm not strong enough, but we're not supposed to be strong enough. That is what God wants. God wants us to lean on Him. And have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're just really upset? Something has happened, or you failed again, or just anything leaving you questioning what God is doing. You just want His help and you're not getting it and you're not understanding why. And it's like, you have all this help that you can give me and you're not sharing it with me. I don't understand. Like, what is going on? I have to ask you, did you ever ask Him? There is so much power in prayer. But the thing is that if we are not utilizing it, we're not going to receive His blessings. We're not going to receive what He has for us. Prayer is everything. And I think like so many times I'm like, so frustrated because it's not working. It's not working. Well, I tried doing this and I tried doing that. Well, hello, why aren't you helping me? You know, I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do all of it and I can't do it all. It's like why? Why isn't God helping me right now? Why isn't He helping me? I don't understand. Did you ask Him? Did you lean on Him? You know, and maybe if you did, then it's going to be in His timing. Then we have to be patient. Then we have to wait for Him. Wait on the Lord, right? But are you really praying? Are you really connecting? Are you really taking advantage of this amazing tool that we have, the power of prayer? I have something pretty big going on in my life right now, a pretty big struggle, and I am going to be making a video coming up very soon talking about this more in depth, and it's a pretty big one. I've shared this struggle with you guys a few times, but I have not gone into detail of how bad it really, really is. So I'm going to be making that video probably next week when the kids go back to school. They're on school break this week. And I'm really going to talk about it. And I'm going to be completely transparent and completely vulnerable with you guys because I really need to be, especially in this area. But the reason why I'm bringing it up now is because I am really, for the first time, really leaning on God to help me through this situation. And man, what a difference. What a difference it makes. And I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. So turn that bell on for notifications if you haven't, so that you are notified when I upload that video. And so that should be coming out next week. And I don't know, I may lose some subscribers from this video. I may gain some, but those who have been with me and who have stuck with me, you know, through this journey, I hope you continue to stick with me because we're all doing this together, right? We all have different struggles. We all have the same struggles. You know, no matter what we're struggling with, we're all taking this journey together, and the goal is to be the healthiest version of ourselves, right? Like that is our goal. Oh my gosh, my kids. So, that video is going to be kind of difficult for me to make. I have to be honest, but yeah, I'm going to do it anyway because that's what the incredible shrinking Steffi does, right? We share the truth, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's a big one though. If you are still watching right now, comment down below. I am so capable. You are so capable of your dreams. You are so capable of your goals, and you are so, so worth it. I hope you believe that. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and join my support group on Facebook. I'm sorry that I haven't gotten a lot of videos out to you guys. Oh my gosh, February has been super slow as far as YouTube for me. I'm so sorry, but things are just crazy hectic over here. I do have some videos filmed for what I eat in a day, so I gotta get that out to you. I gotta get that edited. So make sure to tune in when those are up. What I eat in a day on OMAD. Those ones are coming up soon. We're doing carnivore this week. We're going to continue to do that for the rest of the week. Comment below if you're doing carnivore with us. Yeah, carnivore's great. Love it. And I'm thinking of doing a keto egg fast again sometime soon. So comment below. Let me know if you're going to do that with me as well. I'm not sure when, but we'll figure out a good time to do that. All right, guys. That's it for this video. I hope you have a fantastic week. Stay safe and choose health. Bye, guys.